How's it going, everybody? Nerds Rising here, and welcome to Season 16 of GBL. Now, I know that I'm definitely not the first content creator to cover any of the new updates in the season, but I still am bringing you guys 3 new Pokemon that have updated moves. Now, definitely the star of this show is going to be the Mandibuzz with Aerial Ace. Now, Aerial Ace, by the way, I can't hardly even say that word, but Aerial Ace was previously one of the worst charge moves in the game. It did 45 energy and 55 damage, and now it is 40 energy and 55 damage. So effectively it's the same as the elemental punches now, which aren't by any means the best moves ever, but it is quite a bit spammier now, and a lot of these Pokemon in the game honestly can learn it. There are a ton of Pokemon that learn Aerial Ace, and a lot of them aren't very good. Like Purugly, for example, was really bad before despite having Shadow Claw, but now it is quite a bit spammier with this new move. Definitely not a meta threat by any means, but things like Mandibuzz, for example, are now going to be even better than they already were because they get to this Aerial Ace even faster than they used to. So definitely one to keep an eye out for. Unfortunately, Astonish is just still astonishingly bad. It is so bad. It had so much potential. I actually built this Exploud thinking that Astonish would probably be like a rollout clone, but really all they did is they made its energy generation the same as things like Fire Spin and Ice Shard, which by no means are bad moves, but Astonish does significantly less damage than those moves. So basically it's still trash. It's just slightly less trash than it was. So either way, I was like, I already built the Exploud, so we're still going to use it. And you will see some Boombursts land in this video. By the way, Boomburst also did get buffed. It is now 70 energy, whereas previously it was 75 energy. So it's actually a little bit better version of like a Hyper Beam. And in game 1 here, we are seeing a Lantern lead, which, you know, Lantern is another one of the Pokemon that supposedly was nerfed with the Spark nerf, but Spark is actually still a really good move. It is now a clone of the move Bullet Punch and Leafage, which are very good moves, and we actually land the Boomburst there on the Lantern. Lantern did not respect it. We nearly one-shot it, and the opponent has a Celesteela in the back, which is a very cool pick, but this is not looking that good for the opponent because we do have Purugly still with Thunder, and we also have a lot of energy on our Mandibuzz here. And Celesteela is just not that good. It has Body Slam and usually Heavy Slam, and it's not very bulky, as you guys are going to see. I call it, it's just going to be a Heavy Slam here. It is a Heavy Slam. I do live it, and if they try to farm me down, I think I probably will make another move. But I think what I decided to do instead is, after seeing that they just let that go, I bring in the Purugly, and I'm going to farm them all the way down, shield one time, farm them all the way down, and we're going to have a ton of loaded energy to throw at whatever's in back. And as you guys can see, we are already past 2 Aerial Aces with this Purugly, and they bring in another Fly. Was that a Skarmory? I think that was a Skarmory maybe, and it's actually a Togekiss, and we go straight for the Thunder. We throw after 4 Shadow Claws, and Thunder from the Purugly is easily going to be one-shotting this Togekiss, and we take game 1 in style, even though the opponent was still running one of the public enemy #1s on the Lantern there. So next battle, we have a Scrafty lead. This is another matchup that is significantly benefited from the Aerial Ace buff, because previously it would take quite a bit of time to get to 3 Aerial Aces that you need to KO this Scrafty. And as you're going to see now, the Snarls, it's just 4 Snarls for the first one, and then every one after that basically is going to be 3. So it's much spammier, and Scrafty is actually staying in here, which tells us they maybe weaken the back to the Mandibuzz. But unfortunately, we cannot afford to switch out of this matchup because our backline definitely does not want to see Scrafty. So we're already getting to a 3rd Aerial Ace here, and I think they double shield. Did they double shield right off the bat? Yeah, they double shielded, and they actually catch the next one onto their Nidoqueen, which is a nice play by them, but this is okay because we have the Purugly here, and Purugly also has access to Aerial Ace, and this should be, I think, a range where I can shield one time, build up to the back-to-back, and then have one ready to throw the Scrafty, and they go for an Earthquake there, so massive flex by the opponent running Earthquake, but we're at 100 energy now, and we do take out the Nidoqueen. If they come back in with the Scrafty, I have the move ready for them, and this probably just barely won't KO since it's non-stab, but this is totally fine. I'm going to let this go through and probably look to farm them down here. Or do I actually just let myself go down? Yeah, I actually just let myself go down. That way I can come in with the Exploud, get a couple Astonishes in, and potentially Boomburst whatever's in the back. And this is going to be a power-up punch. We are going to let this go. What is going to be in the back? Hopefully something that Exploud can handle. And unfortunately, it is an Umbreon. And this is where you're going to see that Astonish is just so disappointing. If we were spammier, we might be able to make 2 Boombursts, but I'm not quite sure we are. I did actually catch that Dark Pulse, which may give us a chance. I do still have a shield, and it's going to be very, very close. This would be so much better if Astonish was a good move, but it's going to be very, very close. Now we have to make this in 4. They are on Dark Pulse, and we make it to the move on the CMP tie, and we do actually end up winning this game because of the catch and because of the fact that the Umbreon's on Dark Pulse. But that should have just been a comfortable win for Exploud, but unfortunately it is still a terrible Pokemon, but we managed to win anyway. So next battle, we have a Swampert lead. Pretty good lead for the Mandibuzz, and they're over farming massively. And I think that the Mandibuzz is bulky enough to probably even live 3 Hydros, but they actually go for a Sludge Wave there, which is a very interesting decision. I guess they're probably not wanting to run Earthquake since they got nerfed, but they should definitely just be going for their Hydros or their Surfs or whatever their cheap charge move is. And they do actually end up shielding my move there, and I safe switch into my Exploud, and at the same exact time, the opponent brings in their Granbull. And the question is, do they know about the Boomburst? They do not. We one-shot the Granbull from nearly full health, and if they bring back in the Swampert, they are going to be forced to throw. They're not going to be able to farm me down. Again, it just takes so long to get to these moves still. Just so unfortunate, and they actually are on Surf, so that's probably why they went for the Sludge Wave, but I think that the Stab Surf is probably still more energy efficient than the Sludge Wave, so definitely just want to be going for the Surfs here. They do go for the Surf, and what was in the back there was some sort of counter user, I think. I didn't quite catch what it was, and it is a Blaziken, and there I recognize they let that go. I can now come in with the Purugly, farm them all the way down, and have the double aerial aces loaded for the Swampert. I don't know why is that such a hard move to say? Aerial Ace. It's kind of a tongue twister, guys, especially considering I've been saying it like every other line this entire video. But either way, Purugly takes out the Swampert in the back, and that is a GG. So Purugly, again, definitely not a Pokemon you need to build, excuse me, but it is a little bit better than it was previously. So next battle, we have a Toxicroak on the lead. I think they just went straight Mud Bomb here. Definitely not the play by them. Toxicroak actually is, goodness gracious, that was a really nice voice crack by me there. Toxicroak is what I was saying, is actually another Pokemon that got access to a new move. It can learn Mud Shot now, but unfortunately Mud Shot doesn't really help Toxicroak at all. It is better all around just to run Counter. Counter is a very good move, and here the opponent brought in a Skarmory. I actually answered with the Exploud here. Maybe a bit of a mistake. I thought that 2 crunches would do more damage, but as you see, the opponent recognizes they can actually live 2 crunches, and they're just going to no-shield them both, farm me all the way down. But the reason I brought the Exploud in is because it has a significantly worse matchup against the Toxicroak than the Purugly did, and I was just trying to keep it away from the Toxicroak, so that's why I brought it in there. I bring the Mandibuzz here to soak some damage, and I should be able to fully farm them down, but I think they recognize that. They preserve the Skarmory with some energy, and they bring in a Mudboy, and I think this was a Swampert. It is actually a Shadow Swampert, and here what I'm recognizing is I should be able to take this thing out and then Aerial Ace the Toxicroak with my Purugly in the back. So what I'm actually going to do is, to make up for my little bit of a misplay earlier, I'm actually going to go for the Aerial Ace here. My gosh, I cannot say that word, guys. Undercharge it slightly and then farm them all the way down, and we will have a little bit of an energy head start to outpace this Toxicroak. We didn't really need to do that because I still had a shield, but just to make it a little bit more comfortable, we do it. They try to catch. Not really sure what they were doing there. Probably just, maybe they had, I don't think they even had a move stored, so I'm not really sure what they were trying to do there, but they're just going to get fully farmed down. And Purugly, once again, gets the sweep in the end game. And a GG to the opponent. Maybe I'll just call it the Ace from now on, just so I don't have to say Aerial Ace over and over and over again. But we do get to it here, and as you're going to see, it doesn't one-shot. They actually do shield that, but it's just so much spammier now, guys. It is just a lot better for Mandibuzz, because originally Mandibuzz would get to the Ace at the same time as the foul play, and now it's going to be getting there significantly faster, which, as you're going to see, because of my correct move timing, allows me to get to a third one before they even throw their energy. And we either would have gotten both shields from them or switch advantage. The opponent just lets their Toxie go down. We have switch advantage. They have a Dragon Breath Charizard in the back, and unfortunately I probably should have switched out of there. I think at the time I was thinking I could make another move, but I didn't. And now I think the play is going to be to massively overfarm to the back-to-back aces here. Throw one, and then if they shield, farm them down, but they shield it. And now I'm going to throw the second, and I should be able to farm them down. But I think instead what I'm going to do is bringing the Exploud to get an Astonish head start here and potentially Boomburst something in the back. We do call the Dragon Claw bait there, and it is a Greninja. And unfortunately, again, if we were a little bit spammier, we could Boomburst this thing and one-shot it. But Greninja is so spammy, and they have a high attack, so if I would have shielded that move there, they would have won CMP to the Hydro Cannon on the Boomburst, taken me out, and then just outpaced my Purugly. So I kind of had to let my Exploud go down there, unfortunately. And Purugly is going to do the honors of thundering this Greninja for the win. And we farm down the Charizard in the back. So again, I was just so badly wanting to land these Boombursts, and it's just so ridiculously slow to get to. It takes 7 Astonishes to get to the Boomburst, which at the very least Boomburst got the upgrade. Otherwise, it would take 8 Astonishes to get to the Boomburst. But either way, in the next battle, I forgot what the lead was, but the opponent pivots into a Spark Raichu. And this is actually kind of crazy. Here, I was probably thinking it was going to be a Thunder Punch, but at the last second, I was like, it's early season. They could be running some Spice, and they're running Skull Bash, so very good thing I shielded that. That definitely would have one-shotted me. And as you're seeing, these Sparks are adding up quite a bit. Spark, again, despite Niantic saying that it was a nerf, honestly, it's kind of a buff. I'm not going to lie. It is a very good move. We actually do end up Boombursting the Raichu anyway, and they have a Togekiss in the back. So it's a very good thing that I kept Switch advantage there. I think I was actually considering letting my whatever it was, Exploud go down, but at the last second I did shield to maintain Switch, and we can put the Mandibuzz on the Hypno. I think it was a Hypno lead. Yeah, that's why I wanted to maintain Switch, because I knew if I could keep my Mandibuzz on the Hypno, I'd be in a very good position. And if I didn't maintain Switch, my Togekiss definitely, or their Togekiss definitely would have wrecked my Mandibuzz there. I undercharge it there, hoping that I could just let my Mandibuzz get a little bit lower so the Togekiss gets less farm. But I think I banked a Thunder anyway on the Purugly, so it doesn't really matter ultimately. And here, I don't throw the move, just waiting for my Switch timer to come up so I can Thunder the Togekiss and just make it a quicker win there. Just try not to waste anyone's time. Occasionally, you will see me BM and stuff, but early in the season, I try not to BM as much, just because you're going to be running into, you know, some inexperienced players, especially on day 1. This is technically day 2 of battles, but either way, you get the point, and we have a Swampert lead in the next battle. And again, this is a pretty good matchup for the Mandibuzz, and they're actually going for a Sludge Wave again. Did I include the same battle twice by accident? I kind of feel like I did. So I definitely didn't see 2 Sludge Wave Swamperts, and yeah, this one is running Surf. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the same battle. Somehow I put in a repeat battle there, so we're going to skip through that one. And we have a Golbat lead here in the next battle. And Golbat is pretty neutral for the Mandibuzz. The Mandibuzz does tend to win most of the neutral matchups. As you guys know, it is extremely bulky. It's a flying Umbreon, basically. And in neutral situations, you still do want to go for the Foul Plays. Foul Play is just a little bit better move still than the Aerial Ace. And also, Aerial Ace is not a super high damage move, so oftentimes you don't get the KO in 2, whereas Foul Play oftentimes will KO in 2 on some of these like more neutral matchups like the Golbat, for example. The opponent actually brought in a Buzzwole there, and they take double super effective damage from the Aerial Ace there, and we do actually land the second one there. So I pivot into the Purugly, I farm them down. If they bring back in the Golbat there, they're pretty low, and 2 aces will KO at this point. And the Golbat here clearly does not know how spammy the Purugly is now with the updated move, and we get to the back-to-back before they even throw. We're going to KO them. What's in the back? And it is a Haxorus. And Haxorus is a very, very glassy Pokemon. As you guys know, this ace is about to look like a Hydro Cannon out here, nearly KOing the Haxorus. We bring in the Mandibuzz, and at this point, I think I was going to just farm them down with the Mandibuzz, but then I was like, I'll show them the Exploud and get the Astonish farm down. And that is going to be a G to the G. And I believe here we have maybe 3 more battles left, guys. We are flying through these pretty fast. Hope you guys are enjoying them so far. Again, I don't think that Purugly and Exploud are anything to write home about. Definitely fun picks if you're trying to have some fun, but Mandibuzz, definitely one to consider for the future when we're trying to grind out the elo later in the season here. And we actually pick up a very spicy lead, a Solrock here in the next game. And Solrock is definitely more of a spice pick. It does have access to some heavy-hitting moves, but as you see, Exploud, despite being fairly glassy, does survive that Psychic, and the opponent is bringing in the very bulky Snorlax. They do not respect the Boomburst. That does so much damage, and this is actually a Zen Headbutt Snorlax, so yeah, this is definitely a less experienced opponent here, running some Spice, unintentionally probably, but Zen Headbutt, definitely not what you want to be running on the Snorlax. I would love to see, by the way, I would love to see a Zen Headbutt upgrade at some point in the future, and potentially a extra sensory upgrade as well, just two extremely poor Psychic type moves that have a lot of potential, but they're just absolute rubbish right now. And just imagine all the Pokemon that would be benefited from a Zen Headbutt upgrade. I guess they probably can't do that though, actually, because if they upgraded Zen Headbutt, then things like Chansey would be absolutely broken. So maybe they can upgrade it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could take away Zen Headbutt from Chansey. But yeah, I guess if they upgraded Zen Headbutt, then Chansey in some of like the Great League and Little Cup formats would just be absolutely insane. So in that battle, the opponent, I think, safe switched into a Scrafty to meet my Exploud safe switch. And unfortunately, Scrafty is just really bad for this team, especially considering I think there was a Togekiss lead maybe. And yeah, Scrafty and Togekiss are probably just going to run through this entire team, unfortunately. Especially considering we're running the Snarl on the Mandibuzz here. It's going to be a very difficult farm down. We take so much damage. We do have 100 energy there, but the opponent has a Bastiodon in the back. So they had multiple answers to the Mandibuzz there. And yeah, there's just nothing we can do here. I think I stay in. I'm not really sure why I stay in. I should just be surrendering here. I think I wanted just to see if I could land the Thunder, but I think I just let this go. Yeah, I just let this go. Nothing I could do there. Maybe if they had something in the back weak to Purugly, we might have been able to do the Purugly sweep there, but we were still just taking so much damage from Charm there that even with the bait, I don't think we would have been able to Thunder the Togekiss there. They still had 2 shields. And in the next battle, we have a Hypno lead, the Dream lead. Hopefully not another repeat. I think we already did see a Hypno lead. Hopefully Nerds Rising isn't throwing repeat battles in here. I did kind of just throw these together super quickly earlier, and no, we have definitely not seen this one because there is a double safe switching into our Mandibuzz, and unfortunately, we do kind of have to stay in here. Our back Pokemon with the Ghost type moves definitely do not want to see this double, and double is just a really good Pokemon. You guys know I love double. Nothing really new or buffed or debuffed on the double this season, but it's still going to be good, as it always is, and here, I think that Aerial Ace, excuse me, I should just be saying Ace, is not going to be enough to KO. So I go for the foul play here, and now I might aggressively pivot into something to Shadow Claw down. I do bring in the Purugly, I Shadow Claw them down, and if they bring back in the Hypno, this is still not a good matchup for them. I think I elect to give up 1 shield here, and then commit to the entire full Shadow Claw farm down, and they have a Trevenant in the back. We have 2 normal types with Ghost type moves, and this game is over. Ace here is definitely not going to be KOing, but after a bunch of Shadow Claws add up, it definitely will be. And there, as you guys see, Purugly is pretty glassy. That Seed Bomb does quite a bit of damage, but we get both shields here. And at this point, I think I do actually bring in the... I tried to catch there unnecessarily, but the reason is I wanted to show them the Exploud with Astonish, and I probably will commit to the full Astonish farm down now. And the opponent should be reaching for the top left, but they are not. That is totally fine. Respect to the opponent for staying in, but they're going to get fully Astonished down by Exploud. And they actually bring in the Hypno here. And yeah, I just throw the move just to play it safe. I was getting kind of low at that point. I didn't want to accidentally lose the game because I was screwing around, but ultimately, it looks like Purugly, yeah, would have closed the game out. We take the win, and we are moving into the final battle of the video, folks. Hope you are enjoying it so far. We have a Poliwrath lead. And this is another matchup that is drastically improved by the buff to Ace. As you're going to see, they do throw on alignment there. We get a full Snarl in for free. And 2 of these moves will not quite KO the Poliwrath, but we are so much spammier now that we actually are going to put a lot of pressure on their shields here. Because if they overfarm, we will make another one before they throw there. I think I tried to catch the Ice Punch. Unfortunately, I was a little early there, I think, or either that or the opponent just overfarmed. But I figured they probably weren't running Dynamic Punch. So I do get the farm down here. We have some energy on the Mandibuzz still. We have energy on the Purugly, and they have a Swampert in the back. And I wasn't sure who wins CMP in this matchup, so I throw 1 before they make the Hydro. But as you're about to see, we do actually end up throwing on CMP to the next Hydro here, and we do actually win CMP against the Swampert. So Purugly winning CMP against Swampert tells you just how high its attack is. And at this point, we have a shield advantage. I am not in Hydro Cannon range. I will shield it up anyway, just to preserve a little bit of health. I don't know what they have in back, but we can massively overfarm, go for the Ace here, and if it doesn't KO, we are going to outpace them to another move, and they shield it up. We now are going to take out this Mandibuzz, and hopefully there is something in the back that we can Boomburst with the Exploud. I bring it in immediately. It's a Talonflame, and guys, you are about to see this Talonflame get boomed out of the sky by a Boomburst. I do shield this move up. I'm going to throw 3 more for correct timing. That's 9 turns into 10. And do you think that Boomburst is going to one-shot from nearly full health? And it absolutely is. Again, Boomburst is a just slightly better version of Hyper Beam, so a very powerful move. And we take the final battle in style. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'm hoping you're enjoying the new move updates as much as I am. Again, unfortunately, there are definitely a few things that Niantic could have done a little bit better. But overall, I'm pretty happy so far with the start to the season. So thank you again for watching. If you want to check me out on Discord, the link will be in the description. Make sure you come hang out with us on Discord. If you want to start sending me in your battles, I do have a battle submission form in the description as well. And also, guys, it is now, I think, September 2nd. So start recording your battles for the top wins of the month of September. I will be doing that at the end of the month, like I always do. And that being said, if you are new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please consider doing so, because the more subscribers we can get, the more Pokemon my wife will let me play.